This conference will now be recorded.
Travel
They
Central is
did.
Rocky Mountaineer conference with Rocky Mountaineer. We have been in business for 32 years, since
All right.
1988. We have a
It's right
team
at
of
the center.
highly qualified, trained travel advisors whose only goal is
Here.
to design
Do you want to do it?
Oh, yeah.
It's already clicked on.
No, you don't want it on.
education. So we're going to get started with Rocky Mountaineer. Go ahead, Paul. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Melinda. Hey, everybody, and thank you all for keeping your mics muted at the end. I'm sure if there's questions, you can open them up again. Be easier for everybody else to hear. But yes, thank you. I want to make sure that we get through this material, get you on your way in case you're going to happy hour tonight. So we'll make sure it's informative and really succinct. So first of all, Rocky Mountaineer is a 30-year-old train operator out of Vancouver, Canada. We're privately owned, privately operated, and we really provide a luxurious first-class daylight travel train experience. So Rocky Mountaineer does travel by daylight. We're all about scenic beauty and that you'll see along the train route. So you'll learn a little bit more about that today, and let's jump on board the presentation and learn a little bit more. So what sets Rocky Mountaineer apart is, of course, our 5-star service, but also these luxurious rail cars that are custom designed for Rocky Mountaineer. And we build customized journeys around our train routes. And one of the greatest things about traveling by train, not only is the nostalgia, it's a first-class service, gourmet dining, but you get to meet people from all over the world. And it's really a great experience of meeting like travelers who want to see the beauty outside the passing, the scenery. So a typical day on board the train is when you board the train. First of all, Rocky Mountaineer takes care of every step of the way. We arrange for your hotel accommodations, your transfers. We'll pick you up at your hotel, transfer you over to the train station. You'll be boarded.
Okay, how about if you click on him?
You do have pre-assigned rail cars. You have a pre-assigned seat each day, and you get to choose the route that you want to go on. And then during the day, it's all inclusive. So your gourmet dining experience is included. All your alcoholic drinks, beers, wines, cocktails throughout the day, non-alcoholic drinks as well. And then throughout the day, our storytelling host who provide the 5-star service will point out the history and talk about the culture and point out wildlife.
Do you want it to record it?
Scenery outside. So
maybe that's what's stopping it.
You should be
It
hearing.
automatically did that.
Okay.
Mute your mics, please.
Someone's coming on.
And then
We need everyone to mute your mic so that we can continue the presentation.
Okay. Are you able to hear me, Melinda? Okay, I'm going to continue on, and if you can't hear me, I'm sure she'll let me know. So in the evenings, you're going to pull into your train overnight stop, and we transfer you over to a hotel. We take care of your bags as well. So your bags will actually be arriving at the hotel before you do, and you'll just arrive at the hotel. Your keys are given to you on the transfer over. Go up to your room. You can change up, go out to dinner for the evening. So it's a very seamless train experience. Of course, the dining is a big part of the experience when you're on board our trains. It's 5-star service, gourmet dining, again, all inclusive. And we include a lot of locally sourced, locally inspired dishes. So you'll enjoy Western Canadian culinary as well as some other samplings from out the world, but prime Alberta beef or salmon, as well as Canadian bacon. Now we do have 2 service levels. So you'll notice here in this picture, there's 2 different style of rail cars. We have the gold leaf and the silver leaf, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more so that you can. Oh, can you hear me? Okay, Melinda.
Probably good.
Okay, good. Okay, so the silver leaf is a custom designed single level dome car. So all of our fleet is dome, which is very important as you're seated in your seats and you're looking up at the peak of the mountains. you'll get to see everything from the luxury of your seat. These are beautifully designed cars, high ceilings. You see the big picture windows, and these seats are ultra comfortable. They're custom designed for Rocky Mountaineer, and also they rotate 180 degrees. So if you're traveling with other travelers, you want to sit across from each other, you can do that. Or facing each other, that's certainly something to be done. On a Silverleaf railcar, we have 2 hosts and 1 culinary member that serves the guests on this one railcar. Dining is plated to your preference, seat side. Of course, it's prepared fresh on board the train, and you have several entrees to choose from throughout the day. One of the new service levels we're introducing for our US route is our Silverleaf Plus. And the Silverleaf Plus does give clients access to a special club car, which you'll get to learn a little bit more later on. I'm just going to go to the next one. So then Gold Leaf is our Gold Leaf Rail premium level service. And you'll notice the Gold Leaf rail cars are double deckers. The upper level is your seating area observation. The first level, you have a dining car or dining section. You notice here in this upper level, it's full panoramic views, absolutely stunning. So when you're seated there, sitting, enjoying a glass of wine, seeing the breathtaking scenery as you pass by, so absolutely wonderful. And then you go down to, during the dining, down to the lower level to dine. And so we have several different seatings, and you have a leisurely breakfast, leisurely lunch, all freshly prepared on that rail car. What's wonderful is you can actually smell the fresh baked scones in the morning, or if they're cooking up the Alberta beef, cookies in the afternoon. So you can smell it right from the kitchen on board that rail car. So absolutely spectacular. I got a short video of this. So that is our Gold Leaf Rail service, and that is exclusive in the Canadian Rockies. In the US, we have the Silverleaf Plus, which is really exclusive to the US market. Just in case you're wondering, we do have all sorts of different protocols, health and safety guidelines, all worked up so that we can make sure you're safe when you travel on board the train. When you want to learn more about this, talk to your Travel Central representative, and they can help you out. Just want to show you real quickly some of the routes that we have available for you to explore. This is brand new, is our Rockies to the Red Rocks. What's excellent about this is for 30 years we've been in business. This is the first year we've actually moved our trains to operate in the US. So we are going to operate this route, and I'm going to have a short video on this itinerary.
An extraordinary place. It serves an extraordinary way to see it. Our newest route, Rockies to the Red Rocks, brings 30 years of Rocky Mountaineer's world-class service to the stunning desert vistas of the American Southwest. Traveling from the vibrant Denver, Colorado, past some of nature's wonders, vast canyons, chromatic deserts and panoramic views, to the mesmerizing red rock landscapes that twist through the bright blue sky. It's rail travel at its best. After all, if you're going to see an extraordinary place, you want an extraordinary way to see it.
So this brand new route starts in August of this year. We're very excited about that. So we hope that you'll consider this, because this is a place that you can go to now in 2021. And this is our inaugural season. The itinerary will go from Denver to Glenwood Springs and then over to Moab. And then depending on which itinerary you choose, you can go all the way to Las Vegas and Salt Lake City. Denver, Colorado is, of course, the Mile High City. It's also known as a urban adventure. If you're looking for a city that's very unique in the West, this is a great city. Everything is very walkable. It's considered the most walkable city in the US. Lots of great shops and restaurants, many pedestrian areas and walking streets that are just there with outdoor cafes. They actually have great weather. They have over 300 days of sunlight, actually more than Miami apparently, and great art museums and the second largest performing arts center in the West. The hotels that we feature are really walking distance from the train station. So when you fly into Denver, you'd hop on a transfer from Denver Airport right over to this Amtrak station here. It's actually called Union Station, and the Crawford, Oxford, and Maven are right there, located in that area. Things that you can do around Colorado and Denver: you can go to an amphitheater, visit this Red Rocks amphitheater, maybe catch a show. You have to look that up in advance. Visit Estes Park if you have time. Go to Rocky Mountain National Park, which is only an hour and a half from Denver. Visit the Academy, or Pikes Peak is another great example. So day one of this itinerary is going from Denver to Glenwood Springs. And keep in mind, our trains do run east to west and west to east. So this one goes from Denver to Glenwood Springs. It's about 8 hours. All those are great, amazing sights that you'll see along the route, as you can see here in some of the images. This is Gross Reservoir. Glenwood Springs is a resort area. A lot of spa goers used to go to Springwood Springs. It actually has the largest hot springs pool in the world, 16 mineral springs in these pools. Their temperatures are 94 to 104 degrees. So at night, you arrive there around 5. You can go to dinner and then hit the hot tub, or if you want to wear hot pools, or you can go hit the pools and then go to dinner. So it's really a wonderful overnight stop. Then the next day, you'll board the train again, go from Glenwood Springs to Moab again, have a meal served on board, some drinks during the day, enjoy just really the beautiful scenery that you'll see along this route, such as LaSalle Mountains, Mount Garfield, Book Cliffs, and arrive into Moab, which is a year-round resort, really famous for a lot of movies that took place around there. It's also sort of the gateway to the Mighty Five national parks. You can see located to the right-hand side in this map, Moab, and then your national parks like Arches, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Bryce, and Zion, all very close to your main center where the train will arrive. Just a couple images of the national parks. You have Zion National Park, and then you have, this is Arches National Park. This is Double Arch, one of the places you can hike to or visit while you're in the area. We have several packages that will take you into these national parks with a guide, giving you the history of the area, talk about the geography, some sample itineraries. If you're interested in doing a self-drive, we do have programs that provide a car and then the hotels and sightseeing along the way, or you may choose to do a guided tour as well. And I'm going to talk to you about a special group trip that we have with Travel Central. Real quickly, I just want to touch on the Canadian Rockies. So Canadian Rockies is where we started. We've been there for 30 years. We've been operating We've had over 2 million people travel with us. You'll notice on this map, we have three solid color lines. Those represent 3 different train routes in the Canadian Rockies. So you can actually do one of these 3 different train routes and see the beautiful Canadian Rockies. And then we build packages around it. Our first original route is First Passage to the West. Now this, you'll notice in this map, it's 2 days on the train. So you actually start in Vancouver, you overnight in Kamloops, and then you go all the way to Lake Louise of Banff, or you can start out east and head west to Vancouver. So that's 2 days on a train, First Passage to the West. Then we have our Journey Through the Clouds. This is also a 2-day train route, and then we build a package around it, customized for you. And this one goes up to Jasper National Park. So if you're interested in seeing Jasper, this would be one of the itineraries you'd consider. And the third train route in the Canadian Rockies is our Rainforest to Gold Rush, which actually heads north from Vancouver to Whistler, then all the way up to Quesnel, which is an old gold rush town, and then from Quesnel into Jasper National Park, or you can start in Jasper and then Vancouver. So the destinations that we have in Canada are just spectacular. World class, Vancouver, probably one of the top cities in the world, actually voted the 3rd most livable city in the world. Definitely a stunning place to visit, spend a couple nights there. Victoria, just a short ferry ride away. We can arrange for the ferry as well as the hotel accommodations. You might visit the Butchart Gardens. One of the overnight stops along a train route is Kamloops, a great Canadian town that they love Rocky Mountaineer guests. We're a big part of the business that they get for tourism. And then Whistler is another great place to visit on the Rainforest to Gold Rush. You can stay here. It's a ski resort during the summer. It's a wonderful place for hiking. Quesnel and Jasper, as I mentioned, one of the national parks on 2 of the routes. And this is the largest national park in Canada and one that you must see if you're interested in outdoor activities. If you want to see wildlife, you can do wildlife tours. Lots of wildlife in Jasper area. And then Banff, the oldest national park in Canada, actually started many, many years ago, and it really has hot springs there, as well as the most spectacular scenery that you'll see anywhere in the world. Here's a picture of Moraine Lake, which is right there in the Banff area, absolutely stunning. Lake Louise, of course, world famous lake overlooking Victoria Glacier, and of course the famous Chateau Lake Louise. Calgary is Cowboy Town. It's kind of like the Dallas of the North, known also for a lot of Western films, but also known for the greatest outdoor show on earth, which is the Stampede. Now this happens every July. If you're looking for a bucket list to check off, doing the rodeo at the Stampede in Calgary is a must-do trip. And of course, I mentioned the wildlife, lots of great wildlife in Canada to see, lots of bears and eagles and moose all throughout. And when you plan a vacation with Rocky Mountaineer, work with the agents, and we have lots of different hotel choices to package around the train route so that you can plan the best in hotels that you want to stay at, maybe the world-class Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise or the Fairmont Banff Springs Resort. Both of these hotels we have lots of space at, and I would highly recommend staying there. And then we also build in lots of sightseeing. So when you do travel with Rocky Mountaineer, we try to build the perfect vacation for you that meets your interests. If you're outdoorsy and you like a lot of activity, we can build that in there. If you like foodie tours and wildlife, we can build that in as well. So you let us know what you're interested in. Now, one of the things I wanted to share with you today is the special group trip we're doing with Travel Central. And this is something to consider for 2021 because we have a special departure. It's on our brand new Rockies to the Red Rocks itinerary. This is the Southwest Wonders by Rail 9-day, 8-night trip departing in October. So yes, you can actually travel this year to the Rockies on this beautiful new route. So this is going to feature 2 days on the train, overnights in Denver, Glenwood, Moab, 2 nights there, 2 nights in Page or Lake Powell area, Bryce Canyon for one night and one night in Las Vegas. You got meals included, many of the meals. You all have lots of great sightseeing, such as Dead Horse Point, Canyonlands, and stargazing experiences. Your transfers are going to be included, luggage handling, great hotels are also built into the program. And this gives you a little bit of the day-by-day itinerary, which they can provide for you. They have a flyer that will give you the day-by-day featuring all the highlights. And I'll just show you some of the highlights that you'll have on this itinerary. It is an exclusive group for Travel Central. Of course, you're going to have time in Lake Powell, which is absolutely stunning lake. Dining at the $1 Million at the Sunset Grill in Moab. Also, picnic lunches in Canyonlands, stargazing in Bryce, a Western dinner show. Let me go back here. Dead Horse Point is one of the places that you'll visit when you first get off the train. You're going to be picked up by your guide. So you start out in Denver, you're going to spend the night there, then you're going to transfer on the train all the way to Glenwood Springs, overnight Glenwood Springs. Then you arrive in Moab on the third day. And on the third day is when our guide will meet you at the train station. They bring you here to Dead Horse Point, where you're actually going to have an absolutely stunning picnic lunch with this view. And so that's how you start your trip. And then you do a tour of Canyonlands National Park, see Rainbow Arch and some of the amazing scenery along this particular route. The next day, you're going to have a jet boat ride on the Colorado River. This jet boat is not super fast jet boat, very comfortable, easy go and ride, but it'll take you into the Canyonlands on the Colorado River, and you'll just see this amazing scenery. We do it in the morning, so you just have that sun shining on the red rocks and inside the beautiful canyons. In the afternoon, you'll tour Arches National Park. You'll get a chance to walk to Delicate Arch and see some of these amazing arches built out of sandstone or made by God out of sandstone. And then you'll visit Monument Valley on another day on your way down to Lake Powell. Monument Valley is really great because this is on the Navajo Nation. It's a Navajo Nation tribal park. And so when you get to Monument Valley, we have an arranged tour with a Navajo guide that takes you through Monument Valley. You'll see where a lot of films were made, but you'll learn about the culture and the history of the Navajo Nation. They'll have demonstrations of weaving, and you'll get to learn from really the Navajo people themselves about the area. So it's absolutely a great experiential trip. And then you arrive at Lake Powell, which will be where your overnight stay is. And the next day after, you'll have a dinner in Lake Powell at your hotel overlooking the lake. And then the next day you'll go visit Antelope Canyon. And as you can see from this picture, and you can Google this, some of the most incredible photos you can get from this canyon. Antelope Canyon was really designed from water and wind blowing in there. And there's a picture of Lake Powell, which is about 160 miles wide. It's incredible lake. You'll also get to experience a sunset cruise on this lake. And then after you leave Lake Powell, you're going to head over to Grand Canyon on the north side. If you've been to the Grand Canyon but haven't been to the North Rim, it's really a totally different experience than the South Rim. South Rim, of course, is very busy. It's beautiful, but it's definitely a lot more crowded, a lot more touristy. North Rim is not. North Rim is higher elevations, cooler, and we'll stop at the Grand Canyon Lodge, where you'll have a chance to, have lunch on your own and just enjoy the beautiful views. From there, we head to Bryce Canyon National Park on this itinerary, and you'll have a chance to see this. And we actually do a stargazing experience in Bryce Canyon. So we'll do a tour there, then you go back to your hotel. We go to a dinner show, a Western dinner show, cowboy type of chuck wagon show, really good music, great food. And then that evening after dinner, we're going to go out to this stargazing experience with astronomers. And this is considered a dark sky preserve. So you're going to get to see the most amazing stars when you're out there enjoying the lights there, and with the stargazers and astronomers talking about what you're going to see. And then probably one of the most beautiful national parks in the whole U.S. is Zion National Park. So this is absolutely stunning. The next day before you head to Las Vegas, you'll actually go see Zion National Park, be there in the morning, get to experience this park and see that entirety. And a couple things I just want to point out. We do have lots of promotions, and the best thing to do is talk to your Travel Central advisor about the perfect trip, and sit down with them and tell them what you're looking for. If you want to do the Canadian Rockies or the US, sit down with them and help them. They'll help you plan out your itinerary. But for right now, if you are looking to book a US or Canadian Rockies trip, and this is for an individual, the deposit is 20% due at the time of booking. It's fully refundable up until 30 days prior to travel, which is when your final payment is due. So your final payment's not due till 30 days before. So if you're traveling in October, you don't have to pay a final payment until September. And your deposit is refundable up until that date. So that's really a great flexible benefit. And if you're looking to plan for 2022, your deposit would be due, but it's actually refundable until December 3rd of 2021. So a very flexible payment policy. We have great promotions, which I hope you'll talk to the Travel Central agents about. We have won lots of awards. If I had more time, I'd brag a little bit more about us, but we have a lot of great awards for really the Rocky Mountaineer experience. People love it. It's 5-class service. On board our trains, our hosts are just top notch. So at this point, I think Melinda, do we open it for questions? How do we do this here?
Before we open up for questions, and they can chat into the box, let me just talk a little bit about us and the working with a travel advisor. We have been, like I said earlier, been in business for 32 years, and this year we've learned more than we probably learned in the last 15 years, and things keep changing. So more than ever, I think it's important to work with a travel advisor. A couple of examples I'll give you just in the 2021 world changes is some vendors and some suppliers and some destinations are requiring vaccinations. We have some countries now that are requiring insurance. So all of those things are things that we'll help you work through. I know one of the questions must be, is Canada open to U.S. citizens? As of today, it is not. It is one of the things that we continuously monitor. We monitor destinations and try to find out what's the best. So just FYI, we do monitor that. Before we answer questions, and again, you can put the questions in the chat box. Could you go to the next slide just to kind of tell you, Paul? We do these events. Our goal at Travel Central is always to get you the best vacation experience. And there's so many things out there to do in the world. One of our goals is to make sure that you can find out what's out there and then pick and choose and work with your advisor here at Travel Central. So we have some upcoming ones on Finland and Norway and Antarctica, U.S. river cruises. So y'all are welcome to join us for any of those. They are complimentary. They are at 4 o'clock, typically Central Time here in New Orleans. And with that, I'm looking at any questions. I don't see any questions in the chat box. If anyone has any questions, we did record the presentation. We will be sending the recording out to everyone. So if you joined late, you'll be able to see the entire presentation. So with that, I don't see any questions, Paul. You want to go to the last?
Melinda, as far as the Canadian border, so we are watching it every month. So it's the way they've done it, they've been extending it, the border closing month by month. So each month, about this time of the month, we'll know about the next month. So unlike the cruises, they have not stopped or officially said no travel to Canada in 2021. So it is still a chance that we can get in there. And there'll be protocols. We're experimenting with, testing procedures and that sort of thing. But the U.S. is open for business now. So that's where I think we're getting a lot of our demand right now.
One of the questions someone asked is this: the Canadian tour includes most native sites. So I'm not sure what that means exactly. Do you know what that might mean, like the native sites? Karen, if
Um,
you ask the question a little bit different. All the events, somebody asked about other virtual experiences, all the events that we host are on Eventbrite. If you are a client of Travel Central or have registered for our email program, which we actually send you an email to opt you in or opt you out, you'll get the information for upcoming seminars throughout the year. So we'll get those out. Oh, for the Navajos, do y'all do any of the native indigenous people of Canada, or any of those experiences included in Canada?
You know, not that I can think of, but I think we may have some excursions. So one of the things is we allow you to customize your itinerary. So there may be some of the First Nation type of experiences in Canada that you can add on, or if we don't offer it, leave a day open, and I'm sure there's itineraries that will include that for sure. And somebody did ask how many seats on the October group, and I believe we have 24 seats. Yeah, don't remember, but I think it's like 24 seats on that itinerary. So we're gonna have smaller vans, you know, social distancing and that sort of stuff as well.
Okay, another question was, is it appropriate for someone who uses a walker?
Yes, it is. I mean, there's plenty of places that we can arrange as well to, you know, if you have a walker, we have a lift. If you need to use a lift to get up into the trains, we would just know in advance what level of mobility restrictions there are so that we can make sure we have the correct motor coaches as well. But with a walker, generally, I mean, you just probably wouldn't do the 2-mile walks somewhere on stone, but we bring you to a lot of places that you're very close to where the motor coach is. So we can arrange for you won't miss out on many of the sites that you'll get to see.
And then someone asked about the social distance on the train. We did address this new protocols that everyone's handling or doing on trains, buses, airplanes, cruises. That is evolving. And so I guess what we would have to say to you is that whatever the current required protocols are, or the protocols that everyone will follow, whether it's a train, whether it's a airplane or a cruise line. So it's hard to tell you what the protocol, but yes, currently there will be no social distancing. It's just we're not sure as we go along what the protocols will be. And I think that for everything. And someone asked, is Canada open? Canada is open currently for 2021 for bookings on Rocky Mountaineer. As he said, your deposit is refundable to your final payment. So if something would change and Canada doesn't open up for some crazy reason, then we'd be able to get you a refund 30 days prior to your travel date. So you can book. Paul, you want to mention real quick that if you're doing the Rocky Mountains in Canada, which y'all are offering on that special, you'll have 3 offers.
Yes. So if you're looking at 2021, we have a 3 perk promotion. It gives you a free complimentary hotel night, a free dinner, and a free airport transfer. So it's about a $600 value per couple. So it's really a great added value offer. So if you're looking at an 8-day itinerary, it makes it 9 days, includes the extra night in the beginning or the end of your trip. So it's really a great addition and no extra charge to you just by booking. And again, anything that you put down, you have 30 days before travel to change your mind, get full refund. So there's no risk whatsoever in what you put down. And the other thing is for 2022, if you're planning to book for next year, you want to wait on Canada for next year, maybe do the US this year. We have 4 perks. So you get, instead of 1 hotel night for free, you actually get 2 hotel nights for free on an 8-day package. So an 8-day package becomes 10 days. So you get basically 2 extra nights, a free dinner, and a free airport transfer. And the Travel Central agents can help you pick out which hotel to use and get your value, the best of your value. And that's worth about $800 to $1,000 right there, value.
Right. And so that, again, that's Canada. Currently in the US, those are not offers. That's the Canadian offers. So with that, it looked like we answered all the questions. Somebody asked about the virtual seminars. All of them are on Eventbrite. All of them are partnered with one of our preferred travel vendors, like Rocky Mountaineer or American River Cruise Lines. So, but they are welcome. You're welcome to all of them. And again, the goal behind every virtual experience is just really to share with some of the opportunities out there in travel. There's so many that we really want to make sure when you do go on vacation, you have the best experience possible. So I'm going to say goodbye to everything. And yes, we do have available for singles. If you give us a ring, we'll go over the single pricing, but there are single pricing available.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night.